Hello, Nerve Guy here. Today, time for the Blaster of the Year. Welcome to that. Yes, the time for my Blaster of the Year. And there wasn't really that much choice, and I had to go around to really find something that is quite interesting, appealing, maybe not too expensive, because there was a lot of choice in the higher hand blaster and not that much in the regular one. But before I give you my worst blaster of the year and my best blaster of the year, we're gonna go through some honorable mention, kind of runner-up or just mention because it's interesting for the hobby. First mention is gonna be QWK for the Challenger Mk3. I know it just finally arrived on the market. Some people have got their hands on it. This thing should have been interesting. It's a little too expensive, too tricky to get your hands on it for now, and there is some kind of quirk with the magazine or with the chambering, so we're gonna wait for them to stabilize everything, and then they're gonna be to be considered because they are like a new player. Then there is ZWQ. ZWQ were the bringer of the War Saint S100. This is kind of a long shot blaster that you need to build. But again, this is a higher hand, more hobbyist tool for the hobby. This is very, very good. But it's still not something that I could put into Blaster of the Year. But it's to mention, those are amazing blaster, and they just brought like the Fire Rat S200, which I'm really digging and I'm still waiting for, still stuck in custom, but the second it lands here, I'm gonna show it to you. Then let's go with Dart Zone. Dart Zone had pretty good blaster this year. Let's just take the Striker. The Dart Zone Max Striker was pretty awesome as a blaster, but it was basically target response to Walmart Nexus. So we ended up with two similar blaster but different in internal, and because of that, because they are different in internal, I had to take this one out, and it was not enough innovative. I mean, most of the blaster this year that were very, very good were pump action performance Springer. So this one, I need to bring him out of the equation. Then there was the Zone Pro Mk3. I was really sure this was going to be my blaster of the year, until some quirk happened with different type of LiPo you use, or which dart, or which magazine, and that kind of ruined the chance for Zone Pro Mk3 to be my winner. But nonetheless, this is still an amazing blaster. Then there was X-Shot. X-Shot were pretty absent from the market of the hobby, unless you're looking for repaint or gold blaster. And lately, they just came up with the Extinct blaster, which was awesome in itself. We had recoil action, we had role play sword in front of it, we had the good performance, the design were amazing, the deco, but the blaster was a little late, and it was still a single shot pistol, which could not be my blaster of the year. Then we have the Worker Swift, which was really up there in my list at first when I got it at first hand. It was really performing, but then there was the quirk with the seal, choosing the right O-ring, the breaking plastic dart gate, the necessity to have the metal one, the very sharp metal trigger when you change it, and the level of maintenance, changing the O-ring, making sure the plunger doesn't sleep in the blaster, otherwise you're going to have to change your O-ring early. This blaster is very tight. A lot of little detail with this blaster that is really for the true hobbyist, and I had to take it out of my blaster of the year equation. Nonetheless, an amazing blaster, but remember, you need the metal dart gate to go with it. Now we're gonna go with the bad news first, the worst blaster of the year. I'm pretty sure you all know what my worst blaster of the year would be. Even if there was that Lizzie clone Gecko copy, I'm taking that off of the equation because it's nothing worse than the allegedly first blaster company, #1 blaster company, to release a limited edition blaster that they charge $120 US, $170 Canadian for. and that when it comes, this is no more quality than this little Monkee blaster that I just reviewed in the dollar store find video. It's not bad, but it's uber cheap. And that was my real problem with the blaster. The performance were irrelevant. What I was just hoping was for the dart to come out straight of the barrel. But since the barrel was crooked and don't get me started, the paint was bad. Everything was so off with this blaster. The only good thing was the breech sound when you open it to reload. It was making a cool sound like power charging. Only that was not worth the price of the blaster. This kind of pulled me off of the Nerf Limited series, and I'm gonna wait for review for the next blaster if it is ever interesting. But no, not anymore. Not for me. The Nerf Mandalorian Face Pulse Blaster is my worst blaster of the year. I can't go around it. I can't find anything that was more disappointing this year. It's impossible for me. This is it. This is the worst blaster of my year. And probably of the next year before that. And the one before that. And probably the one before that. Now, blaster of the year. Need to have good performance. It need to have some level of reliability and some special feature. And please, I will need a very good look on it. But where could I get all that? This is going to be Dart Zone for the blaster of the year this year. Because of this little beauty that came out this year and that rocks everything. This Conquest Pro. To me, to my sense, with the consistent 145, 150 and more performance, always regular, with the cool rear loading system, the addition of the 15 round magazine in the Adventure Force Pro line, this Adventure Force Conquest Pro is just awesome. And on top of that, the cherry on top, we have the cool look, the pump action, and if you want to have even more, let's put a little whipped cream on top. We have Slam Fire. We have 150 FPS blaster, which is rear load. The magazine doesn't protrude anywhere, which is Slam Fire. The dart is kind of go from upward to linear inside by some kind of magic. This blaster is just awesome. Plus the price, it's about $40 US. It is not the cheapest blaster, but it's far from being the most expensive. And this is probably the best bang for your buck you're gonna have. If I would have to give one down point to this blaster, there is maybe no stock. Maybe, but that's it. That is it. Otherwise, it's almost perfect. It is almost perfect. So my blaster of the year for 2021, it's the Adventure Force Conquest Pro. This is really the blaster you need in your arsenal from this year. That's about it. Hope you enjoy. In the meantime, you can always follow me on Facebook and Instagram at @ThatOldNerfGuy. Please leave a like and comment, subscribe for more content. Don't forget to hit that bell to notify for my latest video. This was Dave for Tag. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.